Now it's on. Green light on.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regular meeting for the Altamont Zoning Board of Appeals on June 25th, 2026. Time is 7 p.m. Before we begin, exits are to the rear and on the left here. Before we begin, please stand and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And if I could have the board introduce themselves, starting to my left.
Deb Hext.
Charles Trout.
Simon Litton.
James Sullivan.
James Lavelle, Village Council.
Elizabeth Laparco.
Bob Freeman.
Okay. On our agenda tonight, we have one item. We received an application for a special use permit submitted by D's Cards LLC to operate a specialty retail sports card, memorabilia, and hobby collectible store at 103 Park Street in Altamont, tax map 37.18-6-26, which was the old Key Bank. We received the application and an excellent narrative going through everything, so thank you for that. Before we begin with any questions, do you want to come up and introduce the proposal? Go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Ryan Caponera. I am the attorney for the applicant D's Cards LLC. The owner of that business is here with us this evening. That is Daniel Cochran. He's sitting right there. His mother is also present with us as well. That's Rhonda Cochran. And our real estate professional associated with this project as well, that's Brooke Stack. So I'll keep my introduction brief because, as the chairman pointed out, the board has received our application in full, including my detailed narrative, which I hope was helpful. The application, as you know, is for a special use permit that is to allow D's Cards to operate a specialty retail sports card, memorabilia, and hobby collectible store at 103 Park Street. The property is in the Central Business District, and the proposed use is a straightforward, low-impact retail use within an existing commercial building. We believe that based on the materials submitted, and we hope the board will feel the same, that the proposed use satisfies the applicable special use permit criteria. It is an appropriate retail use for the Central Business District, and it will activate an existing and vacant commercial space, and it should not create any additional traffic, parking, noise, safety, environmental, or any other neighborhood impact concerns. If the board has any questions or concerns this evening, we are here and ready to answer any questions that may be had. Otherwise, we appreciate the board entertaining our application. Thank you.
I assume that everyone's had an opportunity to go through the narrative. I don't need to read everything. Okay. All right. Just going through the application, there was one part in Part 3, description of proposed use, where with attendance to not exceed 50 persons. I noticed in your submitted engineering report that capacity was at 43. I would just ask that you amend the narrative to reflect the 43.
Yeah, we would be happy to do that. Our engineer submitted that report and was able to gain access to the property to submit that report and formulate that report after this narrative was done. That's on me for not amending this narrative and resubmitting it to the board, but we'd be happy to do that.
Actually, yeah, it's not consequential, and it shouldn't prevent this, depending on the board's vote, going to a public hearing for the next meeting.
Very good, thank you.
And if anyone else has anything, please jump in.
The only thing I had is, you mentioned a sign. You mentioned that you will have a sign. Will the sign be on the facade? Will it be a freestanding sign, size-wise?
Yeah, we would be going through the village's application process for the sign as well. We haven't submitted the sign yet, just due to the fact that we have had to clear the hurdle of the special use permit first. So it was my client's desire to first hopefully obtain a special use permit from this board and then proceed towards the sign application process.
Okay. I mention it only because a lot of people don't know that there's an additional sign permit that may have to go along based on the size.
Yes.
So I don't want it to be why didn't you tell me that before?
Absolutely, and we very much appreciate you pointing that out, but we're aware of that, and we look forward to that process, hopefully, if the board grants our special use permit.
Thank you.
One other question I had about the narrative, Part 5, existing site and proposed improvements. It's mentioned the applicant does not propose a substantial expansion. Is there any expansion proposed?
No, not at this time. There's no expansion proposed. There is some interior
Yeah.
cosmetic work.
Fit-up stuff.
Fit-up
Yep.
nature stuff. Other
Okay.
than that, no exterior expansion.
Excellent. Okay. Anyone else have any questions about the narrative before we move on to the factors for consideration? Okay. So there's 9 factors that we need to consider before granting a special use permit. And it would still have to go to a public hearing, but the first factor is physical characteristics, topography, and other features of the lot and the scale, and the physical design and other features of any new or existing buildings to be occupied by the use are suitable and adaptable for the proposed use without any modifications which would change the established character of the street or neighborhood setting. This is where you mentioned that the improvements are interior. Does anyone have any comment on the physical characteristics? Okay. The thoroughness of the application was very helpful.
Thank you.
Number 2, the nature and intensity of operations of the use will not be more objectionable to surrounding properties than those of a permitted use. Reading through just a general retail for sports memorabilia, I would agree with the assessment that it's not going to be more objectionable than the surrounding properties. Number 3, the use is in such proximity to a religious facility, school, community center, recreation place, or other prominent place of community activity and public assembly so as to regularly conflict with such other activities and thereby constitute a danger to health, safety, or general welfare. The only thing I would mention for that, just for consideration, is the heavy use that the park sees on Tuesday nights. So just be aware of the community calendar when thinking about scheduling your after-hours events.
Orsini Park,
Yeah, Orsini Park, yeah.
in the summer, yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
yeah, especially.
They-
Yeah,
they
we're
have a
happy to do
special
that.
concert series, so-
My client is very eager to integrate into the community itself, and has already joined a community board to be part of that as well, so.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Number 4, traffic congestion, safety hazards, and street capacity. Again, I didn't have any notes on that section.
The only thing there, James, that you might want to, I mean, everybody knows it happens every year, but the Altamont Fair, that's one of the main entrances that people might take down Park Street, and you just have to be careful in through there scheduling anything major around that time.
We'd be happy to do that, but as it relates to this application, I don't think that the special use permit criteria.
No, absolutely not. It's just something to be aware of.
aware.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
thank you.
Off-street parking, I saw that the property has 30 spots allocated for it. Per the parking calculation, you need 20, so you have an excess of spots. Again, keeping in mind of community events going on, for use of the off-street parking that's available there would be helpful. Site design, number 6, site design, operations, and mitigation of adverse impacts. Doesn't appear to have any adverse impacts on the village. Number 7, cumulative impacts on neighborhood or community. I don't see how the operation of this business would interfere with the current uses of the surrounding area. Number 8, effect on neighboring properties, value, use, and enjoyment, health, welfare, and safety. I didn't see any way that this business would affect those in a negative way. Number 9, consistency with the comprehensive plan. I agreed with the assessment that it coincides with our comprehensive plan. As this is a reuse of an existing structure that's permitted by code, even though it requires a special use permit, it is a type 2 action, and so it's exempt from review under seeker. Inside the application, we had the short form EAF. There were a couple small mistakes that I would point out just so that you can amend it and submit it before the public hearing. Item number 12, page 2 of the short form. Does the site contain a structure that is listed on either the state or National Register of Historic Places? According to the DEC EAF mapper, it says yes. It doesn't affect the application at all, and I don't see how it's a yes, but according to the
Yeah.
It's it's within the historic district.
Is that what it is? Okay, because
Yes.
the building's not historic. Okay. 12B remains a no. And then 13, does any portion of the site of the proposed action or lands adjoining the proposed action contain wetlands or water bodies regulated by the federal, state, or local agency? That came up as a yes. Because of the neighboring properties. Again, it does not affect the application. Number 15, does the site of the proposed action contain any species of animal or associated habitats listed by the state, federal government as threatened or endangered? That should be a yes for the northern long-eared bat, which I believe all of Altamont is. And then number 16, I double-checked, and it is correct that it's a no, that it's not in the 100-year floodplain.
And you forgot number 20.
I forgot number 20. I did forget number 20.
Are you aware of DEC's EAF mapper?
I am.
So when you use that, you wouldn't have any idea that these, of what James just mentioned, unless you go to that. It wouldn't be like common knowledge. And the only way you would know these things is by using the EAF mapper. And one of the things what he didn't point out is that it is within 2,000 feet of a hazardous waste site.
I did not catch that. Thank you, Simon.
There used to be a manufactured gas facility at the bottom of Lark Street on Park. But DEC determined that there was no coal tar involved, so there's no toxic substances there. It's really it's a very much of a moot point, but it's in the EAF mapper.
All right, so thank you. If you can just resubmit that before the public hearing, it doesn't change the application at all, though.
Thank you.
All right, so the impact assessment form. We'll go through that. The applicant has filled it out, and we can talk about if we agree or not, if there's any conversation. Number one, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations? Applicant said no or small impact. I would agree with that. Any other comment? Okay, number two, will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of land? No or small impact. I would agree with that as well. Any comment there? Okay. Number three, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? No or small impact. Agreement. Rather than stop it, if anyone has anything, just interrupt me. I think this is pretty straightforward, though. Number four, will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of the critical environmental area? No or small impact. Number five, will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? No or small impact. Number six, will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? No or small impact. Number seven, will the proposed action impact existing A, public-private water supplies? No or small impact. B, Part B, public or private wastewater treatment utilities? No or small impact. Number eight, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? No or small impact. Number nine, will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources, e.g. wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna? No or small impact. Number 10, will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? No or small impact. And number 11, will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health? No or small impact. Any conversation on any of that? Okay, seeing that there's none, we can determine based on the information and analysis above and any supporting documentation that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts. All right, so unless anyone has anything else, we have a resolution calling for a proposed resolution calling for a public hearing. Read it first.
Yeah, if you want to.
All right. It sounds like we're all in agreement that this should move forward to a public hearing. So could I have a motion to approve the scheduling of the public hearing?
I'll motion that.
I'll second. Yeah.
In favor.
In favor?
In favor?
In favor.
In favor?
In favor.
Thank you.
All right, so Altamont Zoning Board of Appeals resolution clarifying action under seeker and scheduling a public hearing on special use permit application. Whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals for the Village of Altamont, ZBA, received an application from D's Cards LLC, Jonathan Daniel Cochran, collectively the applicant for special use permit approval for the operation of a retail store in an existing structure located at 103 Park Street in the Village's CBD Central Business District, zoning district, and whereas retail stores are permitted in the CBD zoning district by special use permit, and whereas the proposed retail store will occupy and renovate an existing non-residential structure and there are no exterior improvements to the building site proposed except for new signage, And whereas the applicant submitted an application for special use permit on May 19th, 2026, the application, and whereas the reuse of an existing commercial structure or of a structure containing a mix of commercial or residential uses for a use that is permitted as a special use permit is a type 2 action exempt from review under SECRA, and whereas the ZBA has reviewed the application materials and additional information relevant to the application and applicable standard of review, now therefore be it resolved as follows by the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of Altamont, Albany County, New York. 1, the ZBA determines that the application is complete for purpose of its review. 2, ZBA hereby determines that the proposed use qualifies as a type 2 action exempt from review under SECRA pursuant to 6 NYCRR 617.518. Number 3, a public hearing on the application shall be held on July 28th, 2026 at the Village Hall at 7 p.m. It is further resolved that the Village of Altamont ZBA hereby authorizes and requires the board chair, secretary, clerk, and/or village attorney to take the appropriate steps to effectuate this resolution, including any filings and distribution requirements, whereupon this resolution was declared adopted by the Village of Altamont Zoning Board of Appeals.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. We look
Okay.
forward to it.
Thank you. We'll see
Thank you.
everybody back on the 28th.
There's no other items on the agenda. Does anyone have any new or old business?
I just have a question for David, actually. Did we get a transfer of the special use permit from the liquor store? Okay. And then I heard that there's a childcare, daycare kind of thing. Is that happening?
As long as they completed the transfer form, yes.
Is it behind where the physical therapy place is?
My understanding is it's in the existing location where the previous one was. I'm not sure exactly where.
There was one behind the physical therapy. I'm not sure if that's the same one or not. You know, where the physical therapy place is, and then if you go down that sidewalk, there's actually another door to another part of that building. I'm just trying to prepare my head to what's coming up.
My understanding, as long as they agree to the terms of the special use permit that was previously agreed to, they don't need to come before the board.
Right, as long as it's a similar spot or whatever they're doing, daycare or, yeah, yeah.
Conditions remain the same, yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Paul, just for that applicant, do they need a lockbox?
No, because there's no fire alarm in there and no sprinkler system.
Okay. Sorry, that's it.
That's all right. Thank you. All right, number 4, review and approval of minutes for the meeting on April 28th. Assuming that everyone's had an opportunity
Yeah.
to go through them, does anyone have any corrections? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve the minutes as printed?
I make that motion?
Second.
Okay, roll call, Board Member Freeman,
In favor.
Board Member Hess,
In favor.
Board Member Litton,
In favor.
Board Member Luperto, in favor, Board Member Choate,
In favor.
and Chairperson Sullivan.
In favor.
Thank you.
All right. That brings us to a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Roll call, Board Member Freeman,
In favor.
Board Member Hess,
In favor.
Board Member Litton,
In favor.
Board Member Luperto,
In favor.
Board Member Choate,
In favor.
and Chairperson Sullivan.
In favor. Just to note, the next meeting will be July 28th at 7 p.m., and if needed, August 25th. Thank you.
Thank you.